Since your research about music has been to go back to roots, to bring ancient sounds back to people, I'm sure you have traveled that extra mile in terms of understanding what the ancients have given to us.
Right.
With respect to music, and of course, you have an amazing concept here. Keeping these two on the same platter, uh, how was it? Was it challenging to convey this? Because all your songs are instrumental. Was it a challenge to convey this to? Were you trying to reach out to the people, or you just wanted to put your expression out there? What was the thought?
That's a damn good question. My intent was to reach out to people, but I think Think Wide was what started this journey of my query on ancient music.
Right.
When I finished Think Wide, I knew that this is the direction of my music. It will be instrumental and it will be something about the ancient times, right? Because the music back then was different. It was serving a purpose that was different than it is today. So probably we sowed the seeds.
Correct.
Through Think Wide for what is now going to be my next album with ancient music. But how do I convey music through instrumental music? That's always been a challenge. I mean, talk to any instrumental musician, he'll tell you the same thing.
Right.
In fact, Yanni, in his autobiography, he's written that his toughest problem was to name the songs. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are a myriad of emotions in every song.
Right.
You go from happiness to anger to fear to sadness, but how do you stick to the theme of the song, right? So for me, it was like first I had to get the titles of the songs, right? And then with the title of the song, a rough description of what the song is going to be.
So you had the soundscape in your mind.
Absolutely.
So you could actually
I could hear
it.
Yes,
Hear
I
the
could
songs
hear
before you
some of it, and I tried my best to kind of replicate it and manifest it. But I'm telling you, all this is part of that journey that I had to undergo. I
So
think
as a musician, sir, like you're talking about ether being a medium of sound, and when you talk about the word, you've definitely accessed this ethereal, portal of life that not many people, not all commoners
I
can
have
do.
no idea if I've accessed it.
But when you are able to hear these transmissions or channels, and you're aware about what you're hearing, is that the effect of what this particular album had on you? Or were you always like this?
No, I think I am always like this, and there are millions of people who are always like this. I follow this quote that I am your idea, use me or lose me.
Right.
Basically, an idea hits you from nowhere. It's up to you to grasp it or let it go. Now, what I do or what I've become overly aware of post the album is I don't let go of any of those ideas. I latch onto them. Right? Earlier, I would let go. I would latch onto some. Right? So whenever I get a tune or a thought, I either scribble it or I record it on my guitar and on the phone, so that I could refer to it later. But basically, the idea comes at that point in time. If you give it the respect it deserves,
Right.
it'll be yours forever.
Wow. So that's, I think, like a tip you can give to creative people who are on a pursuit.
And a lot of creative people probably experience this every moment of their life.
So these ideas that you talk about, if ether is an element, and the Akashic records is something that also works on the same principle of the ether. So these particular thoughts, they're definitely rising from somewhere, and then they reach you. The thought is basically traveling. So does ether also have something to do with it? Because you've very beautifully named the album That Which Can Be Heard. So thoughts is something that you also hear.
Absolutely.
So can you tell us more?
I don't know. Akashic text would be something that I have a surface knowledge of.
Because the ancients have left behind a pile of.
I am sure there was a reason why this element was called Akash. And I'm sure that the reason why this element was called Akash is there is abundance of pretty much everything that you need to know to do.
Right.
And a lot of people call it differently. I call it void, people call it black, people call it dark, people call it emptiness, nothingness.
Right.
For me, void Akasha is not nothingness. It is pretty much everything that's encompassing the world. And for me, it's a feeling. I can only talk about myself,
Right.
my experience. It's a pure feeling that I hear it,